Hello guys, today we are going to be talking about who is the strongest character in Naruto. And by you can see in the title in parentheses, I don't want anyone to mix it up because this is part 1, because if we're talking overall Naruto, then it's probably going to end up being like someone that's obvious. And so basically I posted a TikTok a few weeks back and I'll play it on the screen right now instead of like whatever anime scene I'm playing. And you can just see that I was saying that like I just realized Might Guy was the strongest in Naruto Part 1. It wasn't even close. And I was thinking about that statement, and the question is like, is he though? And like when I mean like strongest, I don't mean like no one who's not alive and no one who wasn't introduced. For example, Obito was alive during Naruto Part 1, it's just we never saw him. You know what I'm saying? And like nobody who died in the middle of the series, so this eliminates Hiruzen. Hiruzen does not count. So obviously, let's get right into this. And yeah. There isn't a direct quote stating that Might Guy can open the 8th gate in Part 1, but I think it's implied because when he's getting ready to open the 8th gate in the fight against Madara, Kakashi knew the effects, and he knew basically like this was a serious thing, and basically he knew the power of what was happening. And also, we don't know how Might die, his father dies, or if he is dead. We don't see him at all, but I guess a fair assumption is that he opened the 8th gate and died. But obviously, that can't be assumed, so we're not going to get into that. But saying that Might Guy can't open the 8th gate, let's just get into some of the insane feats of the 7th gate. One of the jutsus that is very limited to just the 7th gate and above is the Daytime Tiger. The Daytime Tiger looks like it is not a taijutsu move because it looks like it has a physical aura form. It is an incredibly fast punch, and I'll explain it in a second, but there's a picture on screen right now. After opening the 7th of the 8th gates, the user places a palm facing forward in front of their face with one hand, and then taps it with his other hand formed into a fist, which creates a massive amount of air pressure. Next, the user forms a unique hand seal resembling a tiger. This launches the air pressure at the opponent in the shape of one by leaving a gigantic tiger-shaped impression into the initially built-up air pressure with the hand seal. The air pressure will condense as it's moving and focus into a single point. The technique then explodes on command, releasing the built-up air pressure in an instant. A massive explosion, one that dwarfs Island Turtle, is created, which can be felt a significant distance away. What we learn from this is just by tapping on the back of your hand while your hand is in a fist and using chakra, you can create a taijutsu move that is so fast that it takes on the form of a tiger and actually focuses on one point, and it has a massive explosion, one that dwarfs Island Turtle. If you remember Island Turtle, it's the island that Naruto trained on when he was mastering the Kyuubi. That was the size of a whole forest. So if this dwarfs that, it means it's multiple times bigger. And also, it can create a Daytime Tiger, also in Japanese, a Hirodora, the size of the 8 tails. There's a picture on screen right now. And that's just insane. Let's get into the other jutsus. In the flashback of Kakashi's story and Might Guy applying for the academy with his father might die, and they both basically are looked at as losers by the village. But despite in that arc saying that he can't use ninjutsu or genjutsu, it turns out that either, we don't know, but over time, sometime he develops it because he has the nature releases a fire release and lightning release. And also he can use the summoning technique, and he summons turtles or tortoises, whatever you want to call them. So we know that he does and can use ninjutsu and genjutsu. Although, just like Kurenai, you don't really see Kurenai using taijutsu or ninjutsu. It's because she's a genjutsu specialist. Guy is a taijutsu specialist. Just like Kakashi. Kakashi is a ninjutsu specialist. You don't see Kakashi using genjutsu. It's very rare. It doesn't happen because that's not what he specializes in. And stuff like that. Let's go over our main competitor, Itachi. When you think of Itachi first guy, the first thing that you think of is his Mangekyo Sharingan, which includes Susanoo with Totsuka Blade and Yadamir. Then we also have his Amaterasu and his Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi is such an advanced genjutsu that it is literally the base version of the Infinite Tsukiyomi. You see the name there. But the Infinite Tsukiyomi is literally unbreakable unless you have a Rinnegan. So, this is just insane because I think it's fair to say that if Itachi catches 8th Gate Guy in the Tsukiyomi, he's not breaking it. He's not. With the 8th Gate, that would probably be a different scenario, but I'll go over that in a second. But basically, is Guy going to be able to avoid it by going fast enough? We know 8th Gate Guy, with the weights on, because we never saw him take his weights off, and he always has his weights on, was fast enough to warp time-space itself, which means he was moving faster than the Earth. He was moving faster than the Earth. He was moving faster than everything in the universe. He was moving faster than life itself. If he was moving any faster if he was moving double that speed, he would have literally been time traveling. That's how fast he would have been doing. But let's go over something first. The Yadamir is known to be made out of yin yang release, which is the 5 main elements and yin and yang release. So are the truth-seeking orbs, and Naruto kicked away one of those. So if Naruto can kick away a truth-seeking orb, I think that Guy can hit away a Yadamir. So that's one thing. He can at least hit it out of the way. And the Totsuka Blade, he's not going to hit Guy, who's fast enough to throw so many punches, a barrage of punches that creates a tiger form that's bigger than the 8 tails that can make a more than giant island size explosion. I really don't think he's going to catch him. Itachi has shown some feats to be able to just point at people and put them in the Infinite Tsukiyomi, which is kind of insane when you think about it, because that doesn't happen with genjutsu. Usually, that, doesn't happen. Even, the Infinite Tsukiyomi. Sasuke used his Susanoo, and then he wouldn't get stuck in the Infinite Tsukiyomi. So, clearly a Susanoo is enough to not get stuck in the Tsukiyomi. But Itachi can still point at you, even if you're in a Tsukiyomi, a Susanoo, because it's not about that you're in the Susanoo, it's about that you're getting pointed at, and you will turn into a genjutsu. Be in a genjutsu. But the question is, can he point fast enough? I mean, Guy was going so fast, beyond the speed where you couldn't see him. So, here we come to our conclusion. 7th Gate Guy versus non-reanimated Itachi. I would say that 7th Gate Guy is somewhat winning, unless Itachi wants to use Izanagi. I mean, it's up to him. It will obviously put Might Guy in an infinite genjutsu until he chooses Itachi's will, but that's a whole sacrifice of his eye, so I don't know. And we don't know if Itachi, non-reanimated, when he was sick and all that, could do it, because that's a skill that you need to have an immense amount of chakra and power for, and he was dying from a terminal illness, so I don't know. But let's just say he can't. I think Guy has this in the bag, because if 7th Gate Guy hits Itachi with a Himidora, then I don't know. Like, you could say, oh, Itachi's gonna just, like, point his fingers, and then it was a clone, a crow clone, or something like that. And it's like, that's not how it's gonna work, though. He's gonna create an island-size explosion. Itachi's not gonna be able to leave that. And Amaterasu, he's not gonna be able to hit Guy with Amaterasu. I just don't think that's gonna happen. And it's shown that Naruto versus Sasuke, that Naruto can't get hit by Amaterasu because of Kurama's chakra. So I'm guessing that's going to work with the same immense amount of chakra that comes off of you when you're in the 7th gate. So let's say that he can't do that. Now let's get into 8th gate Guy versus reanimated Itachi. Obviously, there's a lot of ways this could go. Guy could be putting it in an Izanagi, but just like the Tsukuyomi, the Izanagi has to be casted. You have to be able to see your opponent. And Guy was moving so fast that a 10 tails Jinchuriki with 4 replicas of himself as different sets of eyes could not catch him moving. A 10 tails Jinchuriki, strongest Uchiha at the time, with dual Renegon, with Hashirama cells, the reincarnate of Indra, couldn't see this man. And you think Itachi can? I just highly doubt it. It's gonna be incredibly hard for that to happen. But then again, Might Guy in 8th gate isn't getting hit by the Tsukuyomi, but if he does get hit by Izanagi, he is screwed. But now we have reanimated Itachi, which doesn't go down like normal Itachi, because, like, if 7th gate Guy versus normal Itachi, he's just gonna use a Himidora and absolutely explode this man. That doesn't work with reanimated Itachi, because reanimation, you have to stop the actual jutsu itself or seal him. And we don't see Guy using a sealant, but I don't know. So we're gonna have to say that he's gonna have to take down the caster of this jutsu, so which at the time was Kabuto, which I say what would happen is 8th gate Guy goes over to Kabuto, absolutely touches him, because Kabuto, and then forces, I mean, I don't know if he can force him, because obviously Itachi used Izanagi, but he's gonna have to force him with pain. And let's say he undoes it, then Itachi's done. You can debate, it's a close match, so this is going to be the end of the video. Itachi loses to Might Guy. Might Guy, 8th gate Guy, reanimation Itachi. 8th gate Guy, high difficulty. 8th gate Guy is exhausted, and then he's dead, because that's how the 8th gate works.